How's it, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Happy to Be Here podcast. I'm Josh, and this podcast is all about asking the questions our generation is actually wrestling with about life, faith, and mental health, and finding honest answers together. Today, our guest is the good man Daniel Emsley. He's a Springbok surfer, up-and-coming talent in the country, a two-time SA Junior champ, and a competitor on the WSL Challenger Series. So, Dan, thank you so much for being here, bro.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm very thankful to spend some time answering some questions and discussing some topics with you.
Yeah, bro, it's pretty stoked to have you on. So, I think we're gonna keep it pretty mellow, just do like a little bit of getting to know you and stuff. So, kind of first question, like, what kind of got you hooked on surfing?
Wow. So I started surfing when I was 5. Kind of my whole family generation has all been surfers growing up at the beach. We stay like a 2-minute walk from the ocean, so it was just like part of our routine to walk down before school in the mornings, after school in the afternoons, and it's like pushing the foamies.
Yeah.
So my uncle growing up, Greg, he was in the CT, like on the highest level of surfing for 10 years or so. So he was always like kind of our role model, and we looked up to him a lot. So, and my dad surfed and his brother surfed. So it was just like everyone kind of in our family was in the water. And then growing up, I kind of never took it that seriously. Started surfing at 5, but back then I was more of a tennis player.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of would devote most of my time to just hitting against a wall and playing against opponents. And then only when I was like 11 or so did I really pursue competitive surfing. And yeah, it kind of led to me where I am now, which I'm super thankful for.
So, how do you think like growing up in East London and surfing Nahoon Reef and Corner and stuff kind of shaped your surfing?
Yeah, I think I'm very thankful to like grow up in East London. We have such a wide variety of waves with like a lot of like good point breaks, Queensbury Point, Nahoon Reef, Ganubi, and then like some really fun punchy beach breaks as that like Nahoon Corner, Nahoon Beach Break, Ganubi Beach Break, Glen Eden where I live now. It's a blessing. Where I live close to Queensbury and Glen Eden. So when it's westward you surf Queensbury, when it's eastward you surf Glen Eden, it's offshore there. So you always surfing super high quality waves, and it shaped me into the surfer I am now. Like,
And then, what would you say has been like some of the best moments, obviously, of your like surfing career?
yo, it's been a pretty incredible career. Yeah, I'm still pretty young, but I feel like I've had so many wow moments. I think I can look back on like just smiling, and so actually like a bit of a story. But so my first year on the WSL tour, I was 18, 19, and I flew to Australia for the first 2 contests. We had a comp at Snapper Rocks and on the Gold Coast, and then Narrabeen in Sydney. I went there and I got 4th in round 1 in Snapper, and then 4th in round 1 at Sydney and Narrabeen. So yeah, it's pretty like a humbling thing of like, I spent a lot of money to get here, a lot of hours of training. My whole life has been like devoted to getting onto the stage, and I was here and I was like, wow, I'm just getting smoked by everyone. Like I had a pretty good heat at Snapper Rocks. I was like, I thought I would like done well enough to like beat the average, or like more than the average surfer in South Africa. Like I had a really good heat, and still come 4th. I was like, how? Like these guys are seriously good in this tour. A lot of like second guessing of should I be or like is my surfing too immature? Is my mindset not there? Is my heat strategy not there? And I was just like, there was so much thoughts going on. And the third comp of the series was in Ballito, South Africa. And then I had my whole like my family come up for this contest, and like I had my whole friend group there, and I was just like, whoa, it's kind of a bit of pressure. And I was just like looking back on how I just lost twice in a row, like first round, like my confidence was not there. And then that contest, oh, I'll never actually forget it. The morning when they called on men's round 1, I was like in my like hotel room where we were staying, and I literally couldn't even like function socially. I couldn't even talk or think. My mind was just like freaking out. So I've never been that nervous in my life. I was like, I don't know. I couldn't afford to lose first round again. Financially, I couldn't afford to lose first round again. But more like just for my confidence. Like I just have to make it through a heat. Like, and then yeah, the heat came around, and I was super thankful just to advance to round 1. Came in, I cried. I embraced that crying. I think embracing your emotions is so important. So yeah, I came in, I was like, just embrace the feeling of stoke and relief, and that led into just coming through that like happiness feeling, that relief, that release feeling. I just managed to like surf more like myself the rest of the contest, and made it through round 2, and made it through round 3, and then ended up finishing with a 9th place finish in Ballito, which was like, it's still the biggest result of my life. Just beating some of the guys, some of like these XCT surfers and
Yeah.
world champs. Like it was honestly a dream. Like I look back on that 6 day contest period, and it felt like I was dreaming.
Yeah. Nah, that's awesome, bro. I think you can see as well, like, obviously, I know you a lot, maybe a bit better than the average listener does, but I think you can see as well, like what you said, you're big on embracing your emotions, how like, that as an experience kind of shapes you as an individual, and also how it shaped you as a person. And I think, yeah, bro, that's amazing. I remember watching like back home here in JB while you were up there, and I was like, yo, like he's on a tear. Like I was so stoked. And I was like, oh, I thought we didn't make this heat, but I was still like, oh, that's sick. Okay, back him for the next one. I think it's kind of crazy as well, like just for me as a viewer, how you back the guy or like your surfer, like, yo, he's gonna do well, he's gonna do well, like, and you have so much faith in them, but like you don't know, like they're kind of sitting there like, oh, bro, I just hope I make the heat. They're not even thinking about like winning the contest. So I think, yeah, it's pretty like cool little inside information as well, but also like a really good thing to take away maybe for some people is like embracing your emotions. I feel like that's something maybe we don't do as well as we should. When like things don't really align, like you said, like taking those like round one losses or maybe struggling with injuries or stuff, like how do you think you found is the best way for you to bounce back mentally?
Yeah, surfing's almost more so than any other professional career with athlete career. I feel like your highs and lows are
Yeah.
super high and super low.
Mm.
Like if you're a swimmer, I feel like if you're number one swimmer in the world, you should win every single race.
Yeah.
But surfing, lose a lot more than you win, whether you're number one in the world or number 10 in the world or me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you you have to learn to deal with the highs and the lows, and that's kind of been the story of my life because growing up when I was younger, I won a lot more than I lost.
Mm.
And then once you get into the WSL tour, I mean, if you can get like a heat win, let alone like a contest win, like a heat win alone is like incredible.
Yeah.
So I lost a lot. Like the last 2 or 3 years, I've just been losing. The odd high moment, and I think one thing that's like stood out to me a lot in all these low moments is that so many things change. Sponsors change, like friends change, relationships change. Like the life is fleeting. Like it's not going to be there forever. There's like your assets are going to like diminish one day. Like everything is not going to stay the same, but the only thing that will stay the same is God.
Amen.
And that's kind of been my strong point. And I've always said like I genuinely wouldn't be able to pursue this career if it wasn't for God. Like someone to be with you for the highs, for the lows. You can like read awesome scriptures like that just like resonate with you deeply, and you can often write them on the bottom of my boards. Just for like in a hard moment of like, okay, I know that like literally beneath me right now is a word that I believe in strongly. So yeah, I think in the low moments, just been knowing that God has a plan for me, whether I make it bigger in surfing or whether one day I'm working in a surf shop. Like
Yeah.
you never know where my life's gonna be, but I know God's with me no matter what. Has been a good way to deal with the lows.
No, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, no, that's beautiful. And I think as well, like, kind of another question to ask you is like, you're speaking a lot about faith and like how that is a big, strong point for you to like mentally bounce back from things. How would you say you've started like being most intentional about incorporating your faith into your surfing journey?
Yeah, it's pretty cool because I feel like the surf community where I operate mainly, there are some incredible Christians,
Yeah.
but as a whole, I wouldn't call it a strong Christian community. Um, it's a lifestyle, a lot of drinking, a lot of drugs, a lot of partying, like a lot of non-Christian morals.
Mm.
Um, and I kind of want to be like on the forefront of incorporating Christianity into the surf community. And that's always kind of been my goal. Like if I want to contest, like I'll say genuinely, all the glory goes to God. But I want to preach that, like
Yeah.
people know that I didn't win this contest, God won this contest, and I'm just surfing through Him and for Him.
Yeah.
And I was very thankful. So this year, I started this year, I had a really bad injury. So I'm not on the tour this year. And my QS are kind of done, all of my events are done for the year. So I have like a 6 month, call it a downtime, off season.
Yeah.
And I wanted to really devote time and be intentional in growing in faith in this time. So yeah, I've been here with Josh and other interns from across the country at Wave Point Church, just growing in faith, growing in the Word, just figuring out our calling through Christ, which has been incredible. and it's been 6 weeks now, 5, 6 weeks, and I can just like I look back on some of my essays. We do like an essay at the end of every single week.
Yeah.
I look back at some of my essays from week one. I'm like, this is incredible. Like from where I've come in 5 weeks already. So I feel like I've achieved my goal tenfold of being more intentional with God and ways that I can incorporate His word into my life and present it to my friends and family and peers. So yeah, it's been a goal that I'm working on, and I'm very thankful for where I'm going to now.
No, that's amazing, bro. Yeah, no, it's been, I think I could say as well, it's been really cool, like, kind of hopping on with you guys and watching, like, all of us as obviously individuals and everyone being in different spaces in life, how we've been able to grow together and, like, persevere through everything. Me and Dan are roomies. It's always good vibes, Get your roommate like Dan, or get Dan to be your roommate. I highly recommend.
It's been the funniest. So the whole intern crew, Josh wasn't a part of it. Then week 3 or week 4, he came to the house one day for Devos. Never left.
Yeah.
Next evening he went home, packed his bags, came back and moved in permanently.
Yeah.
So Josh and I have been in the epic just brotherhood program of surfing. Unfortunately, I put Josh into a crazy coffee addiction.
Yeah.
So every morning, first thing I wake up, I wake him up with a cup of coffee, just barista. But we've just been sharing some gospel together and preaching some of the word with other interns. Surfing in the afternoons. It's been pretty incredible having Josh involved.
Yeah, I know it's been sick, bro. And so I think kind of like the last question I wanted to ask you, because I feel like it does open up like kind of like a big avenue for obviously both of us, is a big thing that we face in surfing a lot is the concept and the challenge of fear. I feel like when the ocean is this amazing thing, and you're confronting like a living organism pretty much every time you step into it, and it's always shifting, it's always changing, it's never the same. And so with that, you always face that thing of, okay, this is this new challenge, there's this new fear that I have to overcome every time I step into the water. So what do you think are the biggest fears that you've had to deal with, or doubts? And how did you come either bounce back from that, come through that, or learn like to stare it down and face it every time?
Yeah. I can talk a lot about this topic. Some really cool testimonies. But I'll start with one thing that I was kind of taught, is like approach, don't avoid. And I think with the whole fear topic, it's so easy to try and, if you have this fear, just avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
If you're trying to avoid something, it's going to happen. Like, I've always like to use the example of, if I tell you don't think of a red bus, boom, in your mind's a red bus right now. Like, it's like what you think is what you're gonna become. If you're out there and you're scared of losing, or you're thinking about this fear of losing, you're gonna lose. Thinking of like the fear of falling on your first turn, you're gonna fall on your first turn. You want to approach it at a different mindset.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been one of my goals that I work on with like a fear perspective, is when I'm aware that I have this fear, I want to approach it in a different perspective. Like when I was on tour, like the fear of losing first round, you gotta like approach it like a chance in the first round to put on a show, like show the world that your style of surfing, show yourself that you deserve to be here, or approaching a big wave as a chance to best wave of your life. You never know where it could be, and as soon as you approach something, you have a way more positive, way more healthy outlook on how it's going to turn out. Even like a perfect example is I'm a pro surfer. I've been on the tour like surfing for 16 years, and I'm still scared of big waves. Like, and I know a lot of people who like they'd be scared to admit that, but I all day long I'm scared. Like I'm not going to try and avoid that fear. And that big swell we were here for. In the morning, I managed to get some time off our devotions. I went surfing at Supers, and I'm out there, and it was just weird. Like I mean, it was really big waves. I'll call it 10 foot plus Supers. It was only like 8 guys out in the morning because the rest of us couldn't make it out to the keyhole. And I was out there, and I was genuinely scared. Like I was shaking. I was like super. I had this weird feeling that I shouldn't be out there. I felt like God was telling me I shouldn't be out here. I was full of fear. Just fear was inside of me. Caught my first 2 waves, just doing turns and cutbacks, trying not to fall. Okay, maybe this fear is starting to go away a little bit now. Feeling a little bit more confident. My 3rd wave, I tried to pull into this big barrel at the bottom of Supers, and I just got flexed. Like I fell on this barrel, went over the falls, hit the bottom. It was up there with one of my worst wipeouts. Honestly, I'm gonna call it my worst Supers wipeout of my life. Like it was a big wave, and I probably couldn't have been in the worst place. So I got smoked. I came up and my body was shaking, my arms were shaking, and I just had these alarm bells in my mind, like God telling me like, or something was telling me like you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Like, there was just so many like flags going off, and I was just like, yo, like this fear is kind of consuming me, and I just had this weird like feeling like, okay, like God likes to work when you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He likes to work when you're scared. He likes to work when you're anxious. Like He puts you in a scenario where you're gonna be anxious, where you're gonna be uncomfortable, and He's gonna grow through you as a person, grow you in faith, grow you spiritually. I was like, okay, God, like let's see this. So right now I'm super uncomfortable, I'm super fearful, super nervous, and it's big waves. And paddle back out and catch one more wave. I'm just gonna see how you make me feel on this wave.
Yeah.
So I'm paddling back out there. My heart rate's still high. I'm still breathing deeply from this wipeout. Arms are heavy. I get to the back and I'm in third priority. Like there's like 2 guys higher up than me in line. And I see this big wave coming, like this like biggest wave, like honestly of the surf that I'd seen so far.
Yeah.
Just double up. And I'm just like, yo, I'm happy I'm not in first priority here. Like I don't want this wave. Like Stewie out the back, you can have it. Like yeah. And I watched the guy in first priority paddle and miss it. I'm like, okay, maybe it was a little bit far out anyways. Guy in second priority paddles and missed it. I'm like, are you kidding me? No, I'm the guy. No, I'm meant to catch this wave. And there's like people below me in the lineup watching me, so I can't back out. So I'm like, okay, God, like this is your chance. Like let's see how you make me feel on this thing. I'm full of fear. Like I just was a walking ball of fear at this point. And I'm paddling in. I'm just like so nervous. Just so much thoughts happening of what happened on the last wave. And all that. Like it was just. I'll be honest, I was trying to avoid things at this point. As I stand up to my feet, it's just every noise, every fear, every uncomfortable feeling was just gone. And I was just like, wow, like God, like this is you. Like you tested me, and I believed in your test, and you came through. And I rode this wave, doing little cutbacks and like soft turns, because I knew this wave was going to bow because it's doubling up. And I get to the inside of this wave, the inside section of Supers, where it's shallow, there's a sandbank. This wave's like grown in size now, and I'm like, it's gonna barrel. And I'm in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, the last time I tried to pull in, like my last wave I tried to pull in, and I know how badly it ended. But I was like, hey, no, God, like God's with me. He's proven to me he's with me on this wave. Pull into this barrel. Honestly, I'm gonna say the biggest barrel of my life. Like I've never got so many comments ever, or like messages after this barrel. And I'm in this big barrel. It was so big I had time to think. I came out of this barrel, and just tears. I was just bawling. I'm like, yo, God, like, you pushed me so far, farther than I could ever push myself to this level, to catch this wave, to overcome this fear boundary. And it was just, like, pretty cool to see, like, even something like a spiritual side of things, like, God worked through me in a barrel. Like God isn't confined to a box. He doesn't have to work for you in your hour and a half of worship on a Sunday. Or your hour at youth on a Friday. Like God's so dimensional. He doesn't have to work in a set space. Yeah. And for me, it was just like, it's so cool to see that feels a good thing. Like you never know what it's going to lead to. Fear could lead to you having spiritual breakthrough, which happened for me that day. Like a really cool testimony. And I think you should like embrace fear as a surfer. And I'm so looking forward to my next contest where I can be like, I'm so nervous, but that's a good thing. God's going to work through me in these nerves. Like, I'm thankful that I'm scared. God's going to work for me when I'm scared. Because he's proven it for me that day was incredible. That feels a good thing. Yeah. When's the time, Josh? I want to ask you a question now.
Yeah, go for it.
Where you've been super uncomfortable, super full of fear or anxiety, and you've worked through that. And how did you feel?
Sure. The question is usually my thing. So let me think about this one. Bro. I think obviously surfing, you encounter those moments where it's like you want to surf bigger waves. So you have to push yourself really hard to be in those situations. But I think I'd probably have to say, like, for me, I started modeling like a year and a bit ago. And I think I was naturally a more reserved person. So you would not expect me to say, okay, let's go do modeling. But I gave it a crack, and it was like one of our first evaluation shows. It's like, okay, we got to walk now. And I used to hate smiling in front of people. Like, it was just like, it would irk me. So I was like, okay, bless, I don't have to smile in front of people. And they were like, okay, you got to go smile in front of people. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. This is not my vibe. And then, I had to like overcome that thing in my head, because basically, like, I literally couldn't walk in the room with other people and smile. Like, that's how bad it was. So I'm very thankful for the coaches that I had and the people that helped me like kind of like walk and figure it out. And I think genuinely, like you said, there's so much breakthrough on the other side of fear. I don't think I'd be in the position I am today if I never like overcame that fear and like walked in front of those people. Because a lot of what I'm doing now is walking in front of people and smiling. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I think like, there's a lot of power in overcoming fear and being uncomfortable. Because I feel like there's so much growth in in those places where you're not safe and you don't feel like, okay, I don't have to try as hard. It's like you have to push yourself. You have to feel the walls kind of close it in around you. And I feel like that's when you reach your best potential and like can achieve the most, I would say. So I think probably that's been like one of the most uncomfortable situations for me personally.
That's really good.
And bro, I think fear and discomfort, very powerful thing. It's something we spoke about, funny enough, with Johan on the last podcast, like how important it is to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, especially in like a growth aspect. And bro, I think if I can encourage anyone, like do something that's uncomfortable, because I feel like that's where you'll grow the most, and that can be anything. If it's like, okay, I'm gonna go for a walk today, I'm gonna walk further than I walk usually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna
Run 1K more.
run 1K more than I usually run. I'm gonna do one more rep than I usually do. I'm gonna do one more set more than I usually do. Like put yourself in those positions where you don't want to be there and it's uncomfortable. And I feel like that's where you like see the most growth, especially in your mind. It's like mindset is like so important.
That little bubble of comfort is so dangerous.
100%.
Because once you're in it, you're like, why would I leave? I have food here.
Yeah.
I have peace here. I've got everything that I think that I want.
Yeah.
But there's so much more waiting for you as soon as you get out of the bubble.
Definitely, bro. Yeah, and I think as well, like, obviously, Matt Bromley, his film that we've seen a couple times.
Yes.
For those who don't know who Matt Bromley is, he's a professional big wave surfer from South Africa. He's a big advocate about like pushing yourself past the limits of fear. And I think like for us, like the waves we're surfing is like pretty mellow for him, but he's like charging like Jaws and like Nazare, like these like 60-foot plus waves. And it's literally like you like one wrong move and it's game over. But he speaks about how like he stands in the face of that fear and like how much and like what he knows, what he wants to achieve is on the other side of it and how you have to push through. And I think like imagine where you would be. I think is an amazing question to ask ourselves if we didn't like take the risks. If we didn't like say, okay, I'm actually gonna give this a shot. Like I'm gonna put myself out there. Like how I don't think life would be fun.
Oh no, like imagine if you like 40 years time, you look back on all the risks you didn't take.
Yeah.
All the times you found that uncomfortable zone, and
Yeah.
you just like step back,
Yeah.
stepping forward. Like I've even seen for myself, like a bit of an example. So I finished school, like finished grade 12, and it would have been very easy to just go to university, like do my degree. That's a safe route. Yeah. And there was like some thoughts of me like go to Stellenbosch, do my BAc or whatever degree I was keen to do at that time.
Yeah.
But I had like the calling and all of my years of hard work to pursue like a pro career in surfing, which is the most unsafe career ever.
Yeah.
Like the money isn't that great.
Mm.
The chance of making it big is super small. And I was very thankful that I leant into that comfort zone back then.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't like, my life would have turned out very differently. I would definitely wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had the chances to see the world, the experiences, like to preach the gospel internationally, and the friends I've made overseas, the friends I've made here in J-Bay in South Africa. Like, I don't know how my life would have turned out. It would like if I went down that route, I would have had a good life. But I've like the calling of overcoming the comfort zone to lead me to where I am now.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure it's the same with you in modeling. Like to get into modeling must have been a discomfort zone.
Yeah.
And now it's led to you
100%.
being the best model in South Africa. Yeah, going to Peru soon. How does that feel?
Bro. I think I'm really amped. Like it's gonna be such an amazing experience. Get to go travel to a different country, experience a different culture, connect with more people, which it's gonna be really amazing. And I think as well, just like represent my country on the world stage. I think that's gonna be really sick as well. So I'm super amped for that, bro. But yeah, bro. My final if you have any final thoughts, any things you'd like to leave, anyone watching it with, what would they be?
A very important thing that I'm trying to work on in myself is to just find small positives. Like every single day, there's something to be like thankful for. Like bring you joy. Like I always like talk about the joy of being as like a bit of a slang, but it's like every single day, find a low positive. Could be a good coffee.
Yeah.
That brings you joy, a good wave, or you walked really well at modeling practice, or like I don't know who's in the watch, but like could like a really good school mark, or just every single day there's going to be a choice you'll have at one point to have the glass half full or half empty, and just having that glass half full of just like I'm going to choose to be happy because it's a choice. Like you can wake up on the wrong side of the bed and still make it a good day. Yeah. So I think that's kind of like what I want to leave the people with, like just kind of choose to be happy, choose to find positives, to like live a life that's going to bring you joy and those around you joy as well, because life genuinely is so much fun, and like who you surround yourself with and the way you treat others and the way you treat yourself even is really important. And yeah, that's going to be a very exciting end for the year. I'm super excited for you, Josh. Thanks so much for having me.
No, bro, thank you so much for hopping on, being here with us. It's been amazing to have you and just have a discussion and kind of see like what the insides of the mind of somebody who's pursuing a career in a sport and like at a really high professional level looks like. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I think this has been a really amazing episode, a really great conversation with me and Dan. And yeah, I hope if there's anything you can take away from this today, is pushing yourself beyond that comfort bubble and like really trying to get uncomfortable and face those fears head on. If you want to see more of Dan surfing, follow along on his journey. His Instagram is Daniel John Emsey. You can find him there. Go check it out. Funny enough, the wave he was talking about getting super barreled on, it's like one of his most recent posts. It's like the first clip, so you guys can definitely go find that. But yeah, week 2, it's going pretty well. And yeah, I can't wait for more. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Ooh, that
Sick.
was